Hello guys and girls, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat. It has been a short week and it's been a long week, but let me tell you, when we get to this end of this video today, the Sunday afternoon chat, I've got a really important announcement for a big change in the Jimmy Houston Outdoor YouTube channel. That's right, a big change in the Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube channel. I'll tell you about it at the end of this Sunday afternoon chat. And it's going to be something that I think you really like, particularly a lot of our friends that are outside of the United States, but a lot of them inside the United States too. You know, by the way, one thing I've noticed, I looked at those analytics again this week. We had a lot of people subscribe this week, well over 1,000 in the last 6 or 7 days. But still about 80% of the people that watch the Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube video are not subscribed. So let me tell you, if you're watching this video right now, hit that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell out to the side of it. You know, I say a lot on this channel that words matter, and I talk to you about choosing your words carefully and trying to encourage everyone you come into next week, you come involved with next week. Don't say anything bad about anybody. Don't say anything bad to somebody, but just say positive words. But let me tell you, numbers matter also. And numbers really matter. Numbers really matter when you're talking about YouTube channels and you're talking about the big Google computer in the sky. And it seems like when those channels, when they reach certain numbers, like when we reached 25,000, seemed like we had a big kick. They were putting us in front of a lot of people and we're getting a lot of new subscribers. I think when you reach 40,000 or 45,000, I think that's another one of those magic numbers where YouTube, oh my gosh, the sun's coming out. It is a beautiful day. Windy as all get out in Oklahoma City like it normally is. But they put you in front of a lot more people. They recommend your videos to a lot more people, and you're able to grow the channel. You're able to really grow the channel when they do that. So what I want you to do is, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube, do so. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell right out there beside it so you'll be notified. We are going to post this year over 500 videos on Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube. So we'll have a big announcement about another change that's going to happen actually it'll start tomorrow. It'll start on a Monday, start at the first day of the week. Like I said, it's been a short week and a long week. The reason it's a short week is we started last Sunday, which a lot of people think that's the last day of the week. A lot of people think it's the first, but we started at the big Mid-State show out in Phoenix, Arizona. We were there representing Shell Rotella. We had our big 521L Shell Rotella Ranger boat with the big Mercury 250 horsepower V8 on the back of it. By the way, that boat still did not get wet this past week because of this short week, and I'm hoping to go fishing in that thing tomorrow. It's supposed to be a nasty, nasty day, but I'm hoping to go fishing. I'll tell you what we're going to be doing next week. But we were at that show on Sunday. When the show ended, Chris and I got the boat out of the show, headed toward Oklahoma. It's over 1,100 miles. And so we drove until deep into the night, got a hotel room, got up the next day, drove all day Monday, got to the Twin Eagle Ranch a little bit after midnight. So we had already used up the first 2 days of the week, Sunday and Monday, or the first day if you consider Monday as the first day of the week. And so all we had was Tuesday. And Tuesday, as it turned out, with a big storm coming in, and we had a lot of work to do on Tuesday, did not get to go fishing on Tuesday. Wednesday, I came up here to Oklahoma City, got a hotel room at the Quality Inn here at the airport, and stayed at the airport because I had an early flight the next morning to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I had a flight at 5:50 something, but can I tell you, I flew the friendly skies all day Thursday. I mean, I flew the friendly skies. And this was an interesting trip. You know, I got on an airplane at 5 something. We had a big snowstorm in here that morning, and we had some just big snows and cold weather and terrible, brutal cold that night and Thursday morning here in Oklahoma. And so that I was concerned about being able to get to the airport. Is why I came up here and stayed during the night. Caught an airplane at 5 something, flying to Atlanta. Get to Atlanta, you know, we're going to catch an airplane, go to Chattanooga, work all day at the big Great American Outdoor Show, the NRA show, the Great American Outdoor Show, the largest outdoor show, I believe, in the country. Fred Hall show out in Los Angeles might be about the same size. I don't know which one's the largest. Both of them are great shows on each end of the country there. But we get down around Birmingham. Everything's going fine. Hey, I got upgraded. Delta upgraded me to a first class seat. I don't get that much anymore. I've got over 2 million miles on Delta, but they don't upgrade me to a first class seat very often. They used to when I was a platinum member, but now since I'm a lifetime gold, I don't get that first class seat, but I got a first class seat, so that was good. And we get down around Birmingham, and the pilot comes on, and you know, pilots are very assuring. Sometimes their bedside manners are not quite what they should be. But he says, well, we got a little problem. They have a ground stoppage in Atlanta, which means that nobody's taking off, nobody's landed. And we're out around Birmingham. We're just a hop, skip, and a jump in a big Delta Airjet to that airport. So we're going to fly around Birmingham here for a while. I hope we have enough fuel to fly around until they open that ground stoppage up. And I got to tell you, that statement right there puts a whole new meaning on the words faith, love, and hope. I hope we have enough fuel to fly around Birmingham for a while until they get that ground stoppage cleared. So we flew around Birmingham for a while. I don't know if I got any credit for those miles, but I should have. Might get me back to a platinum member on that one flight. But we landed in Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama is a great place. It's right on the Tennessee River. Great fishing right there in Huntsville, Alabama. And they were having those terrible storms and floods and tornadoes that they had down there this week, and it was terrible. A lot of people lost their homes all over the southeast, and but that was the same storm that came through Oklahoma and dumped all the snow and cold weather here. I just kind of followed it down, I guess. I spent quite a while on the ground in Huntsville, Alabama. Some of the people got off the airplane. They said, you get off, you can't get back on. So those people didn't get back on. But I stayed on the airplane. We finally got to Atlanta. Obviously, I missed my flight to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Put me on another one 3 o'clock that afternoon, which that didn't fly either. Finally got to Harrisburg about 6:30. Not in time to work the show that day. Some of my friends up there covered my seminars I was supposed to do that day, and the people there at the show were they were not mad at me. Tom Robinson, and Nate that took care of me while I was there. They treated me really good, so I really appreciate that. And I told them, I said, listen guys, I'll make up for it tomorrow. I'll come over here and I will work the show. I will work the show all day long. From the time it opens at 10 o'clock, and I was there until after 7:30. I did my seminars there to overflow crowds around the fish tank, and the people were just great. I have so many friends up in the Harrisburg, Hershey, Pennsylvania area, and thousands of them came by and visited that day. A lot of them asking about Lucy. Everybody wants to know about Lucy. I am Lucy's commentator. I'm just a monkey for Lucy. She is the star of Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube. We all know that. And so we had a great day. Put seminars on, visited with the people, visited with booths at the show. We had a great Ranger boat and tracker boat display there in the show. I talked to some of the guys that they told me they'd sold 3 Ranger boats that day. So that makes me happy when they're selling 3 Ranger boats. Makes a lot of people happy, including those 3 proud new owners of a Ranger boat. So the Great American Outdoor Show, let me talk to you just a second about that. It is, I understand, the largest outdoor show in the country. That show was bought a few years back by the NRA, the National Rifle Association, which, as you know, I'm a big supporter of the NRA. And they bought that show because they were having some disputes over whether they should be able to have guns displayed in that show or not. So they just bought the show. And it's even better than it was, and it was already a great, great, great show. But the Great American Outdoor Show be happening about this same time next year. My buddy Roland Martin was there on a Monday and Tuesday. I was there on Thursday and Friday. They talked about maybe having us there together next year. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I hope that we get to do that. But the Great American Outdoor Show, over 200,000 people went through that show this week. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I got up again at 3 o'clock the next morning on a Saturday, flew to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I've got many, many good friends. My buddy Brent Brady, who's been a friend for over 30 years, picked me up. His son, Josh, is a deep snapper. As Brent says, he whips that football between his legs on punts and field goals and extra points. And he did it in college 470 some odd times and never messed up. Not once. Never messed up. Not once. So he's going to be playing in the NFL right now, and that's just fantastic. I've known Josh ever since he was a little bitty boy. He's a great, great young man, and he's a big boy. You're going to play in the NFL as a deep snapper, you're going to have to be a big boy. And I spoke at Silverdale Baptist Church last night. Had over 2,000 people, maybe over 2,500 people, had an overflow crowd at a couple other locations they had. And it was just a tremendous, tremendous evening. We had a great comedian there that was homeschooled. I never knew a guy could tell so many funny stories about being homeschooled. I remember one time he asked the crowd, he said, how many of you are homeschooled? And several people raised their hand. He said, I do just that. I do that because if you're homeschooled, you don't ever get a chance to raise your hand. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was cute. Go ahead. You can put an LOL behind that one. But he told a lot of great jokes like that, and it was just, he was funny. He was a clean comedian, which is kind of hard to have a clean comedian nowadays, but you know, we were at a church. We had about 40 decisions for Christ, about, I think, 20 salvations, and about 17 other people that wanted more information about salvation. So that was great. That was absolutely great. So that's what we've been doing this week. I've made it back to Oklahoma. I'll be here for a couple days, maybe even have 3 days here before I head off. I'm going to head off on Thursday and drive to Evansville, Indiana. And at Evansville, Indiana, I am going to be swapping my truck, swapping my Expressway Ram in on a brand new 2020 Expressway Ram. And that's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. You know, we do the internet commercials. We do the internet commercials and the television commercials for Expressway while we're up there. It takes all day Thursday to drive to Expressway. I'll do commercials on Friday, and then I'll leave as soon as I get through and drive part of the way back and get back home next Saturday. Next Saturday, I know next Friday is Valentine's Day, so if Chris wants to be with our Valentine, she better go with me. She did go with me to Phoenix, which was great. That made the trip out there and back, and while we were there, a whole lot better. We just had a great time going out there to that Mid-State show in Phoenix. But I'll be in Evansville on Friday, working, doing commercials there for Expressway Ram, Expressway Ford, Expressway Chevrolet. Can I tell you, they're the absolute best dealership in the world. I don't know how many vehicles I bought from them, and be going down there swap. I've got my ranch truck is what I've got here right with me right now. I know some of you are going to say, I saw that looked like a GMC. It was. They handle GMC, Chevrolet, Ford. They handle everything there at Expressway, and they have a slogan that they can't be undersold. The very best prices, the very best selection. They've got something like 10,000 vehicles in stock. So it is absolutely incredible. If you're anywhere in Indiana or anywhere within 500-600 miles of Evansville or Mount Vernon, Indiana, you know where it is. Mount Vernon, Indiana, you just got to go by and talk to Expressway. Expressway.com. You can buy a vehicle there from anywhere in the United States. So that's what we'll be doing this coming week. Okay, I've got I'm hoping to get to go fishing. I've got a buddy of mine, Josh Jones, who's a crappie guide here in Oklahoma, who's also a great bass fisherman that has been catching some monsters. We got really nasty weather forecast the next 3 days, a lot of rain, a lot of bad stuff. And but Josh and I are going to go out and maybe try to throw some swim baits, maybe jerk baits, maybe an umbrella rig, and see if we can't catch some of these big Oklahoma winter bass. Josh actually caught a 12.2 here recently. He caught another one, I think, the next day that weighed 10.9. And so he's not just a crappie guide. He is a great bass fisherman. I'm wanting to get that Ranger boat. Josh is an expert on the Garmin live scope locators, the Panoptics. He's an expert, and I'm wanting him to kind of help me set it up because the only time I've used that live scope is with Tony Capron, with Scott Martin, and so hopefully we're going to go out and we'll spend some time setting that up. We'll, you know, whether we catch any fish or not, we'll probably have a video we can post talking about that live scope locator. And not many people are going to be out on the lakes the next 2 or 3 days. Supposed to be 15-mile-an-hour north winds, lows in the 20s, high 41 degrees. 50% chance of rain. So doesn't it sound like a great... Josh is an all-weather fisherman. I'm not that mad at him. I got to be honest with you. I want those days that are in the 60. I'm looking for 60 degrees in February before I go fishing. All right, let's get on to this big announcement. We have a big announcement we're talking about. We're going to have happen, a change in Jimmy Houston Outdoors. Beginning tomorrow, Monday night, I think probably 6 o'clock, we are going to start uploading the Jimmy Houston Outdoors television series for 2020. In other words, brand new shows for 2020. These are shows that are showing on the Discovery Channel, Pursuit, CBS Sports, WFN, WGN, Heartland Network, Walk TV, YouTube Television, AT&T Sports Southwest. I'm sure I've left out some networks. I think we're on 14 networks, but we have been getting comments about, Jimmy, I'm in Australia. Jimmy, I'm in Great Britain. Jimmy, I'm in Denmark. I'm in Spain. I'm in Australia. And we don't get your television show over here, and I sure would like to watch your television show. So we're going to do that. We also realize that there's a lot of people here in the United States that are not going to get up at 5 o'clock on Saturday morning to watch our show on the Discovery Channel, or at 5 o'clock the next day to watch it on CBS Sports. Pursuit, you can watch it prime time in the evenings a couple days a week, and plus I think on Saturday if you've got the Pursuit Network, which is a total hunting and fishing network. It's a great network. We're on there year round, all year round. Be on WGN out of Chicago. Just about anybody that's got a television in the United States gets that network. But we realize also a lot of people are watching their videos, their television on things besides the Dish Network or DirecTV, and we're on both of those networks on several channels. But so we are going to put the 2020 television shows, and we'll continue to do this as we continue to do the television show over the years. We're going to have that show, and you can go back and watch it. You can go back and look at things that happened again. You have instant replay, obviously, on YouTube. But we're going to start posting those tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. We have 26 new shows in this series. You've seen some of those videos and some of those clips up on YouTube as this year has gone by, as 2019 has gone by. But these will be full episodes of Jimmy Houston Outdoors. Now, they will not have commercials in them, except for the commercials that Google puts in here through YouTube. But they will have billboards. A billboard, for those of you that don't know, a billboard on a television show is a 5-second billboard, and it's something like, Jimmy Houston Outdoors is brought to you by Ranger Boats. We still build them one at a time. Jimmy Houston Outdoors is brought to you by Mercury Outboards, own the water, things like that, and brought to you by Bass Pro Shop, brought to you by, and that's what those are. They're 5 seconds, and there's sometimes 2 or 3 of them together. And some of the segments within Jimmy Houston Outdoors, like we have a segment called Houston's Helpful Hints. And it's about a 2-minute segment, and it's a tip. That's all it is, a fishing tip. So you're going to get a fishing tip there, and Houston's Helpful Segments is brought to you by somebody, and it's not necessarily the same every week, but it's brought to you by somebody. We have a segment on there called Jimmy's Look Back, and on that, we're looking back for shows that maybe happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I don't know if we have anything from 40 or 43 years back, but that's how long we can go back for the look back. And it's kind of cool because Jimmy had more hair. It was a lot thicker. He still got goofy hair, but he had more hair. Jimmy's wife looked like she stepped out of Playboy magazine 20 years ago. Oh, she still does. Beautiful, beautiful woman, and long black hair, an Indian princess for sure. And don't tell her I said these things on here, okay? Do not tell her I said these things on here. But some of those look-back segments, Fishing with Chris, just absolutely amazing. Fishing all over the United States, all over the world for that matter. Those look-back segments are some of my favorites, obviously, because I like to look back when I was a little bit lighter and had more hair and a little bit younger. Some of these wrinkles weren't there. But we're going to do those. Those will be Monday night, so you'll be able to watch entire episodes at the end of 26 weeks. I don't know exactly what we'll do there. We may show some Jimmy Houston Adventure shows. We haven't determined that. Or we may just start all over at show number 1, go to the end of the year. When we come to January 2021, you will have show number 1 the very first week on Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube, just like it is on Jimmy Houston Outdoors television. So that's our big announcement for the week. Guys and girls, it's going to be a great one. Here in Oklahoma City, we got great weather. Just like last Saturday and Sunday, it was great weather. God is smiling on the working man in Oklahoma, because the best weather for the last 3 or 4 weeks has been on the weekend, when the working man has a chance to get off and go. I work every day, so it doesn't matter. I haven't had a chance to go on these Saturdays and Sundays, and certainly not a chance this Sunday either, because I'm still a couple hours away from home, and we got a deacons meeting at 5 o'clock at Midway Hills Baptist. So I'm just going to about get there in time for that deacons meeting this evening and go to church. And but hopefully, we're going fishing tomorrow. Maybe going fishing Tuesday. Maybe going fishing Wednesday. One of those days I'll probably be. Chris will chain me to the office. I hear about these couples using chains and stuff, handcuffs and stuff like that. The only chain and handcuff we got is to my round table office, and she chains me to it and makes me do the work that I don't get done while I'm running around the country. So anyway, it's been a great week. Going to be a great week this next week also. We'll be in Indiana. We'll be traveling to Indiana Thursday, traveling home on Saturday. We'll be in Indiana at Expressway Auto Mall, and did some commercials for those 3 great bands that they've got there, and just having a great time. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great week. I wanted to, I always kind of like to end this thing talking about something, and I talked about words matter and numbers matter. So be sure, if you're watching this video, to subscribe to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube. But I want to just talk about one thing. You know, we've had some things happen this week. We've seen them on TV where we had some ugly things happen in Washington, D.C. and some ugly things said by both parties about each other. And here's our deal for this week. Let's just go out there and be nice to everybody we talk to. We don't want to be a ugly girl, or we don't want to be a mean girl or a mean guy or a mean wife or a mean husband or a mean mother or a mean father. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. So let's just go out there this week and make it our point that we're going to be nice to everybody, even if they're not nice to us. Boy, if they would learn that in Washington, D.C., we'd be living in a better country. And we live in the greatest country in the world already. So God bless you all. Go out there and be nice this week. I love you guys and girls. See you tomorrow on Jimmy Houston Outdoors. See you in the morning on the Catch of the Day.